They called her a fool, a 27-year-old schoolteacher with empty pockets and a heart too big. She had no husband, no riches, only faith. But when she opened her home to 5 broken boys the world had thrown away, no one could have imagined what they would become. The Lagos sun burned hot the day Rachel Thomas first met the boys who would change her life forever. She was just a primary school teacher then, earning barely enough to feed herself, yet spending her Saturdays tutoring children at the Mercy Home orphanage. The place smelled of antiseptic and lost hopes, its cracked walls lined with photos of children no one wanted. That afternoon, the matron, Mama Nkechi, pulled her aside. "Sister Rachel, there are 5 new boys. No one will take them, not even the missionaries." Her voice dropped to a whisper. "They say they are cursed." Rachel frowned. "Cursed? What does that mean?" Mama Nkechi sighed. "Come and see." The first was Aid, a skinny 8-year-old who flinched when spoken to. When Rachel knelt to greet him, his words stumbled like rocks tumbling down a hill. My name is Aid." The other children laughed, mimicking him. One boy sneered, "Even his tongue rejects him." Aid's eyes filled with tears and Rachel's heart cracked. Next was Cheek, 10 years old with a glare sharp enough to cut glass. "He stole food from the kitchen," Mama Nkechi muttered. "His parents left him at a police station." Cheeky crossed his arms, daring Rachel to judge him. She saw the hunger in his sunken cheeks, the defiance masking fear. Then there was Tunde, small for his 7 years, with ribs visible under his threadbare shirt. He'd been found wandering the Oshodi market, eating from trash bins. His hands shook as he clutched a torn picture of a woman, his mother. Rachel would never know. Emeka sat apart from the others, his left leg twisted from untreated polio. The caretakers called him useless because he couldn't run errands. Yet when Rachel handed him a broken radio, his fingers flew over the wires, trying to fix it. The last was Kola. 9 years old, his skin stretched tight over brittle bones. "HIV," Mama Nkechi whispered. "His entire family died of it. People are afraid to touch him." But when Rachel reached out, Kola clung to her like a drowning boy to a raft. That night, Rachel didn't sleep. The boys' faces haunted her. She had no savings, no husband, just a tiny 2-room flat in a noisy Lagos compound. Yet a voice inside her whispered, "These are your sons." The next morning, she returned to Mercy Home with a bag of puff puff and a reckless dream. "I want to adopt them," she told Mama Nkechi. The matron's teacup clattered to the floor. "All 5? Rachel, have you gone mad?" News spread like wildfire. Her fellow teachers gasped. "You'll end up a beggar," her neighbour Auntie Bissy warned. Even her pastor hesitated. "Sister Rachel, why not wait for marriage? These boys have problems." But Rachel had made up her mind. The first month nearly broke her. The boys fought over everything, space, food, even the torn blanket they shared. Chike stole a loaf of bread, and the baker threatened to call the police. Aid wet the bed nightly, ashamed of his stutter. Kola's fever spiked, and the clinic demanded payment up front. One rainy night, Rachel counted her last 500 naira, enough for either dinner or Kola's medicine. As the boys slept, she knelt on the cracked linoleum, tears mixing with the sound of dripping leaks. "God, I can't do this alone." Then, a small hand touched her shoulder. It was Tunde, holding a rusted tin. Inside were coins, his earnings from selling pure water sachets after school. "For Kola," he whispered. One by one, the other boys woke. Cheek emptied his pockets, stolen money he'd meant to keep. Aid offered his only sweater to sell. Emeka, silent, handed her a repaired flashlight to pawn. Rachel hugged them tight, their bony bodies pressing into hers. This was the moment they became a family. Years passed in a blur of struggle. Rachel woke at 4 a.m. to fry a kara for sale before school. The boys wore hand-me-downs, their shoes held together with glue. Yet, in that cramped flat, miracles grew. Aid, once mute with shame, won a spelling bee. Chike, channeling his rage, defended a classmate from bullies, earning his first praise. Tunde's math scores caught a philanthropist's eye, securing a scholarship. Emeka built a toy car from scrap metal, and Kola, against all odds, gained weight, his smile brighter than his prognosis. But the true test came the night Kola collapsed, his body burning with infection. The hospital demanded 50,000 naira. Rachel sold her late mother's gold chain, her last treasure. As she signed the papers, the doctor murmured, "Why waste this on a boy who'll die anyway?" Rachel's reply was steel wrapped in velvet. "He is my son." Kola survived. And as Rachel carried him home, the other boys flanked her like guards, their eyes whispering a vow. "One day, Mama, we'll carry you." Little did she know, they already had a plan. When everyone says it's impossible, what would you sacrifice to make it possible? The morning after Kola's hospital discharge, Rachel woke to an empty pot and 5 pairs of watchful eyes. The boys had gathered around the rickety wooden table, their faces tight with a determination she'd never seen before. Chike, now 12 and all sharp angles, broke the silence. "Mama, we made rules." He slid a torn notebook toward her. Scribbled in childish handwriting were 5 points. 1. No more stealing. Ever. 2. We share everything, even punishments. 3. If one cries, we all listen. 4. Aid speaks for us when others laugh. 5. We will make Mama proud. Rachel's calloused fingers trembled as she traced the words. These were the same boys who, just months ago, had fought over a single piece of meat like stray dogs. Now, they stood united, a brotherhood forged in hunger and survival. The transformation didn't happen overnight. Aid's stutter worsened under stress, so Rachel had him read aloud from her tattered Bible every dusk. At first, the boys snickered when he struggled over Jeremiah, but Emeka, quiet, observant Emeka, started mouthing the words with him. Soon all 5 were reciting verses in ragged unison, their voices weaving through the compound like an off-key choir. Neighbours complained about the noise until the day Ade delivered a flawless psalm at a street vigil. The same women who'd mocked Rachel now pressed gifts into her hands, groundnuts, used shoes, a single precious egg. "Your boys have grace," they murmured, as if surprised. Chike's redemption came through fire. When local thugs tried to recruit him, Rachel marched to their hideout, her wrapper tied tight with fury. "Try taking my son," she dared, "and Lagos will learn how a teacher fights." That night, Chike sobbed into her lap, his tough shell shattered. She taught him to redirect his anger, first into boxing at a youth centre, then into protecting the weak. By 15, he'd broken up 3 alleyway beatings, earning wary respect from the same streets that birthed him. Tunde's hands, once sticky from stolen sweets, became his fortune. He turned their cramped balcony into a laboratory, mixing detergent and herbs in old bottles. When his homemade soap cured a neighbour's rash, orders poured in. Rachel let him keep half the earnings, hiding her awe as he reinvested in Ziploc bags and labels. "Mama, one day I'll make medicine," he vowed, stirring a pot of bubbling aloe vera. But it was Kola who taught them the deepest lesson. His HIV status wasn't a secret in their crowded neighbourhood. Parents pulled children away when he passed. Shopkeepers handed him goods without touching his fingers. One Harmattan morning, they found AIDS boy scrawled on their door in charcoal. Rachel reached for a rag, but Kola stopped her. "Leave it," he said, chin high. "Let them see it doesn't break me." That afternoon he stood before his class and explained his condition in terms so simple even the teacher wept. The next day, 3 classmates brought him roasted plantains, their mother's peace offering. Emeka's legs might have failed him, but his mind raced ahead. He dismantled every broken gadget Rachel brought home, radios, watches, even a discarded calculator. At 14, he repaired a neighbour's generator with wire and sheer logic. The man tried to pay him. Emeka refused. "Teach me more," he bargained. Soon, engineers from the nearby auto shop were tutoring him in exchange for fixes. Rachel often found him asleep over schematics, his twisted leg tucked beneath him like a wounded bird. The years folded into each other, a patchwork of small triumphs and relentless struggle. Rachel took extra shifts grading exams by lantern light. The boys juggled school with hustles. Tunde sold his soaps at bus stops. Aid tutored rich kids in English. Chike worked as a night guard despite Rachel's protests. Their flat never knew luxury, but it brimmed with something rarer, purpose. Then came the season of leaving. Aid was first. His essay on "The Boy Who Couldn't Speak" won a national competition, catching a university dean's eye. The scholarship letter arrived on a Thursday, its crisp paper foreign in their calloused hands. "Law school?" Rachel gasped. Aid, now 18 with a voice like smoothed honey, nodded. "To speak for those like us." That night, as she packed his single suitcase, she slipped in her only jewelry, a fake pearl necklace from her teaching award. "For your graduation," she lied, knowing she wouldn't be there to see it. Cheek left next, his boxing trophies traded for a medical school admission. "I'll heal broken bodies," he told Rachel, pressing his forehead to hers. She remembered the little thief who'd stolen bread to survive and wept. One by one, the nest emptied. Tunde, to a tech incubator in Abuja, his soaps replaced with coding manuals. Emeka, to an engineering scholarship in Port Harcourt, his tools now precision instruments. Even Kola, whose doctors had predicted death before adulthood, walked tall to a business program in Ghana. The night before Kola left, Rachel washed his back with a cracked basin as she'd done since he was 9. His scars, from sickness, from stigma, glowed silver in the moonlight. "Mama," he whispered, "what if we forget you?" She laughed, the sound wet with tears. Can the river forget its source? The next morning, Rachel stood alone in the flat. 5 mattresses lay stripped bare, the walls echoed with ghosts of laughter. She touched the notebook still on the table, their childhood rules now yellowed at the edges. Outside, Lagos roared on, indifferent to her emptiness. She didn't know they'd made a pact, nor that Tunde had hacked into a university database to track her meagre teacher's pension, transferring secret top-ups, that Chike sent monthly medical supplies to the orphanage where they'd met, that Aid had already drafted legal papers for a foundation in her name. Least of all did she suspect the boys, now men, were watching the day she turned 56. From across continents, they received the photo Emeka's old neighbour sent. Rachel in her classroom, her once vibrant ankara faded, her students' chalkboard proclaiming, "True wealth is what you give." A message buzzed simultaneously on 5 phones. It's time. When no one is watching, what legacy do your daily acts of love create? The knock came on a Tuesday, 3 sharp raps that startled Rachel from her evening devotion. She shuffled to the door, her knees protesting after decades of standing in chalk-dusted classrooms. Probably another neighbour needing help with a stubborn child's homework, she thought. But when she opened the door, the sight before her stole her breath. 5 men in immaculate agbadas stood on her crumbling doorstep, their eyes glistening. For a heartbeat, she didn't recognise them, these broad-shouldered strangers with gold wristwatches and leather shoes that probably cost more than her annual rent. Then the tallest one fell to his knees, his voice cracking as he said, "Mama." The sound unlocked her memory. That broken mama was how Ade had first addressed her when his stutter made mother impossible. Now the word poured from him like a river freed from a dam. Rachel's hands flew to her mouth. Her boys, her beautiful, impossible boys, had come home. Cheek reached for her first, his surgeon's fingers, once so quick to steal, gently turning her palms upward. "You're thinner," he murmured. The same words she'd scolded him with countless times. Tunde pressed his forehead to her shoulder as he'd done at 7 after nightmares. Kola, whose skin had once been stretched taut over feverish bones, now cradled her against his barrel chest. Emeka's polished cane tapped nervously, the same rhythm his fingers used to drum on that polio-twisted leg. They'd timed their arrival perfectly. Rachel's tiny flat was spotless for once, her Sunday lace sprawled over the lone armchair, a pot of bitterleaf soup simmering. I would have cooked more if I'd known, she stammered, already calculating how to stretch the meal. Aid laughed, the rich baritone so unlike his childhood stammer. Mama, tonight you don't lift a finger. With a signal, caterers filed in, bearing silver trays of jollof rice, peppered snails, and Chapman cocktails, dishes Rachel had only ever described to them from magazine clippings. As they ate cross-legged on the floor, refusing chairs until she took one, the stories tumbled out between bites of puff-puff. Aid, now a human rights lawyer, had overturned a law segregating AIDS patients in schools. Because of cola, he said, raising his glass. Chaik, a neurosurgeon, ran free clinics in slums. Remember when you sold your mother's chain for my stethoscope? He asked Rachel. She didn't. She'd lied, saying the hospital gave it to him. Tunde's tech startup employed 200 youths from orphanages. We screen them using your teaching methods, Mama. Emeka, despite his leg, had designed bridges spanning 3 countries. He grinned. The first one has 5 pillars, one for each of us. And Kola, dear, fragile Kola, had not only survived, but thrived, building West Africa's largest pharmacy chain with HIV-positive staff. Our motto is your favorite proverb, he told her. The tree remembers the hand that planted it. Rachel listened, her heart so full she feared it might burst. But then Aid cleared his throat. Mama, we have something to show you. Blindfolded, Rachel was led outside to a waiting car. The boy's nervous energy reminded her of the time they'd pooled coins to buy her a birthday cake, only to drop it on the doorstep. When the blindfold lifted, Rachel gasped. Before her stood a gleaming white mansion, its arched doorways modelled after the orphanage where they'd met. A brass plaque read, "The Thomas House, where broken things mend." "This is yours," Tunde whispered. Beyond the threshold, photographs lined the walls, Rachel teaching under a mango tree, the boys sharing a single textbook, her hands braiding Kola's hair. The furniture was custom-made, bookshelves shaped like open palms, Aid's idea, kitchen stools at Emeka's preferred height. In the courtyard, a foundation stone bore Rachel's name, alongside the date she'd adopted them. The Rachel Thomas Legacy Fund, Chaik explained. Every year, 5 abandoned children will receive full scholarships. In your honor. Rachel trembled, her calloused fingers brushing the marble. This is too much. Kola kissed her temple. You taught us love multiplies when shared. The grand reveal came that Sunday. Unbeknownst to Rachel, the boys had arranged a national broadcast. Cameras rolled as she stepped onto a stage at Tunde's tech hub, now decorated with childhood photos. Before a live audience and millions watching at home, Ade narrated their story. The stuttering boy, the thief, the sickly one, the cripple, and the market discard, who'd become men because one woman believed. When they played the video messages from orphans, the foundation had already secretly helped. Rachel broke. A girl from Borno who'd escaped Boko Haram whispered, "I want to be like Mama Rachel." A boy from her own Lagos slum held up a science trophy. The 5 uncles paid my school fees. The nation wept with her. That night, as fireworks painted Lagos red and gold, Rachel sat on her new mansion's balcony, the boys at her feet like in their tiny flat days. The city's noise had changed, no longer the cries of hungry children, but the hum of a future being rebuilt. Aid handed her an envelope. "Read it at dawn," he winked. Inside was the deed to the old orphanage, now being renovated into a teacher's training academy. The first course? Educating the Unwanted. As the clock struck midnight, Rachel looked at her sons, these men who'd once fit side by side on a single mattress, and saw the truth. Her real legacy wasn't the house or foundation, but the love that had come full circle. If your life was a seed planted today, what shade would it give to those who come after you? Subscribe for more.